Free at last, free at last. Thank God Almighty, we are free at last. What's going on, Washington Commanders Nation? It's your boy Rio Robinson. And Friday, November 24th, Black Friday, literal Black Friday for the Washington Commanders. We wanted a head on the spike, we wanted our pound of flesh, we wanted someone's ass held to the fire for the ineptitude that this season has been. And the coach of the 29th ranked defense out of 32 teams in the NFL has been fired. Jack Del Rio, MAGA Jack as I call them, the Jack Del Rio era is over for Washington. And the defensive backs coach that replaced Chris Harris once he left for greener pastures, Brent Visselmeyer, gone as well. DC DB's coach, gone. So it appears Ron is safe till January. We know what's happening. It's an inevitable end to this saga of Washington football. But we're going to ride with Ronald sailboat to the end of the season. Somebody had to be fired. Magic had his whole family dressed up in Commanders jerseys. Josh Harris and Mark Ein had their whole friends and family and elementary school alumni at the game last week to watch us lose to a Sopranos character at home. Was it the 30 plus we gave up to Philadelphia twice, the 40 we gave up to the Bears, the 24 we gave up to Tommy DeVito in spite of 9 sacks, the 29 versus a struggling Geno in Seattle? The list goes on and on. The Bills scored 37 on us, and they're struggling this year. Everybody can do anything they want versus the MAGA Jack Swiss cheese defense. It would been time. It's been time for this boy to go. All we do is dust up on Sundays, as Jack would say. We don't do anything. These boys don't tackle. These boys don't defend. They look lost. I keep hearing about how technically savvy our defense is, and the communication has to be perfect or it doesn't stand a chance. It doesn't matter. Jack, you are a large part of the colossal failure of this coaching staff. And the cleansing of Ashburn has begun because there are more firings to come in January. The entire staff is going to get canned in January. Nobody's going to be a part of the new coaching staff, and nobody deserves to be a part of the new coaching staff if we're calling a spade a spade. But Jack had to go. It's been time for Jack to go. Jack should have been fired after the Bears game. His head coach, Ronald Rivera, should have been fired. But it's clear that maybe that handshake did mean something. Maybe they told Ron straight up at the beginning of the year, we're going to give you the full season to evaluate you. There's nothing left to evaluate at this point. A turkey bowl of 11 people on their couch could score on this defense. The worst part about yesterday is Dallas was coasting. Dallas was in practice mode. They weren't in fight or flight mode yesterday. They were coasting. They knew the offense wasn't going to score, and they knew our defense wasn't going to stop them. And that's a problem. In our 4 years, Jack has been given everything to succeed here. 3 of our 4 first round picks, defense, defense, defense. We spent a half a decade building a defense to continuously underachieve. Continuously. Not an all pro on that side of the ball. We had 6 first round picks and they were trash. We were trash when Sweat and Young were here. We're trash without them. Don't forget we gave up 40 to the struggling ass Bears and Justin Fields in them when Sweat and Young was present. We're trash. We need to hit a reset. And this is just the start of the wholesale changes that is coming here. Jack accomplished nothing. He was bad. No one liked him. No one believed in his scheme. And on and off the field, he was an annoyance. He was a nuisance. Well, he gets a fresh start, an early start to his 2024 election year because football is not going to be on his resume anymore. He's probably going to go back to working on TV, whether that be ESPN or Fox News. He can make his choice. He can take his pick. He will not be on anybody's staff anymore. Luke Del Rio, I believe he has a son on the staff as well. I believe he's on the offensive side of the ball. I wonder if the son's still on staff. How awkward is that? Your boy's still on staff and you got fired. It is what it is, man. This is a long time coming. This was long overdue. And somebody has to be held to the fire after Dallas gave us 45 points yesterday without trying. I don't think they broke a sweat. I don't think a Dallas player had turf, had stains, had sweat stains, or anything on their jersey. They probably didn't even need to shower after the game yesterday because they didn't have to exert any effort, any at all. The blame pie is split up between all of the coaches, but Jack Del Rio's slice of the pie is very large, very, very large. We're not stopping a soul. How many third and long situations do you have to watch other teams convert on? How many teams can go to their first, second, third, or fourth receiver versus this defense? These dudes are running the ball on us on 3rd and 5 and getting it. Jack Del Rio and Ron were fucking linebackers and haven't identified one halfway decent linebacker in their entire tenure as head coaches here. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. All that first round talent on the defense that never overachieved or even achieved. They're lackluster. They're poorly coached. They poorly execute. And the guys identified with finding talent to add with this defense are the major problem. These dudes are mid. I can't say they checked out because this is just the ability of the guys we have here. But the coaching and the tutelage they're under is poor. The defense is porous, it's ass, and it's a big part of the reason why I don't see another win coming this season. Especially now that Ron Rivera has to dust up his chops and be responsible for calling the defense now. Ron Rivera is now your defensive coordinator, Washington fan. So you can check us out for the year. You can mark us in the L column for the rest of the season because that is a linear move having Ron call the defensive plays now. Not going to get better, not going to get worse. It's going to be a lot more of the same. These guys are dated, expired dinosaurs. The football game has passed them by, and I cannot wait till we get till January 8th so we can rid ourselves of this whole outfit. And when those days come, not a coach, not an executive, or not a player on the roster is safe when it comes to building for the future. If we weren't good with you, we will be fine without you as we turn to our next chapter of Washington football. Sayonara, Jack Del Rio. Deuces, Brent Visselmeyer. We will not wish you well. We will not check you out with the deuces in a best of your endeavors elsewhere. Could care less what you do. Washington fans, we deserve better. We finally got some accountability coming from up top. You know this was not a Ron Rivera move. This is a Josh Harris and company move because Ron is going to die with the lie. He's going to die on the hill of the players and the coaches he brought in. He will not fire a guy unless he's absolutely made to or asked to by the owners. That is how this is taking place. Sayonara, Maga Jack. Brent Visselmeyer, nobody knows who you were. Nobody will continue to know who you were. We know you were a complete downgrade from Chris Harris. And it might not have mattered if Chris Harris was here because Benjamin St-Juste and our first round pick stink. Kendall Fuller's the only halfway good line corner on the roster. The secondary is food, and we need safeties, we need corners, we need backers, we need edges, and we may need defensive tackles because Jonathan Allen may be out of the door as well. Nobody's safe on this roster. Daron Payne may be the only 100% safe player on the entire roster. It is what it is. Let's move forward. Let's continue the cleansing of Ashburn when January comes. That's all I got for right now. Enjoy your Black Friday. Don't spend too much money. Until next time, Rio out.